Who's wrong and who's wronger? In this corner, followed by millions, James the Exploding Unicorn Breakwell. And in that corner, ignored by millions, Steve Dash Rinko Levers.
Hello and welcome to Wrong and Wrongly, the podcast where James Breakwell and his daughter, Betsy Breakwell, debate topics that don't matter at all. Why is Betsy here and not Steve? Well, as you know, Steve is a cave-dwelling troll who comes up from the hinterlands occasionally to record a podcast with me, but lately he has been too busy eating children from the village. So, Betsy volunteered to step into the gap, and she even has a topic for us to debate this week. What do you got, Betsy?
Should I do daddy's diet or regular, or just eat regular?
Not should you do it, but just which diet is better? Because obviously you should just eat regular because you're a kid. Let's scoot up a little bit just to make sure you get in the camera, or not the camera, you're already in the camera, get in the microphone because nobody really wants to hear me. They'll probably just want to hear you. And when I say anybody, I'm really talking about the two people who listen. But maybe we'll get more. Maybe Steve's gruesome appearance is what's been holding us back. This is going to be the real test. This is how we're going to find out. So I guess before we get into this, we need to really figure out. So I do the carnivore diet. I eat all meat. But what the heck do you eat, Betsy?
I just eat anything I want to.
That is a lie. What do you really eat?
Food.
You eat like 5 different things. You and all the kids. You're a little bit better than the rest of them. So
I eat almost everything you give me.
I do, but I only give you things you'll eat. And it's the most limited list of foods ever. So you eat macaroni and cheese, chicken nuggets and french fries, fast food hamburgers. You'll eat
pizza.
You'll eat pizza. You eat spaghetti.
Hot
dogs and hamburger helper.
I don't like hamburger helper.
Okay, but you eat it. So again, she doesn't even like all the...
Spaghetti.
I already said spaghetti. So you've got 6 things. 6 things out of the whole variety of the human experience of all the possible things you could eat. You eat 6 things.
I eat pizza rolls as well.
Those are a form of pizza. You're subdividing the pizza category. So you act like it's bad that I only eat meat. Well, out of everything you could eat with no restrictions, you eat 6 things. This is the time you should be eating all the crazy stuff.
I have restrictions.
You don't have any restrictions.
Of what we have in the cabinets. And Mommy only buys what we eat.
See, so it's a self-reinforcing thing. Like, we've tried other foods. We tried ravioli. We tried skillet meals. I made sorts of fancy chicken things with cheese inside of them. All sorts of delicious foods.
Oh, what about those noodles that I really liked?
I don't even know what noodles you're talking about.
There's cheesy noodles.
I don't recall any cheesy noodles that you've ever eaten.
I'll go get them.
When I give you au gratin potatoes, you guys act like I've given you a death sentence. Like, I put it down, you're like, oh, this is
Potatoes are disgusting.
Potatoes are the lifeblood. Like, of all the things I miss from my regular eating, potatoes are about the only thing. And the thing is, right now, like, you're like a goat. You can just digest anything. You can eat a tin can and some grass and some day-old hamburger meat you found in the yard, and it's just going to make you grow 5 inches. Like, your body is just a calorie-burning machine that turns it all into size. Like, I would give anything for that now. Like, if I even look at a candy bar, I gain 2 pounds. So that metabolism goes away.
I guess every night you earn 2 pounds.
I do. I see you guys eat candy. So I guess that's the other food group we didn't mention. You eat candy. You eat all of the candy, which, again, I supply you on because it's not healthy at all. It probably makes me a terrible parent, but
it's delicious.
When I was your age, I lived pretty much entirely on candy.
Yeah.
In high school, I would eat like trays of brownies for breakfast, and
brownies are delicious.
I grew to be 6'2", and back then I was only like 140 pounds, despite the fact that I was probably eating 10,000 calories of pure sugar a day. So that was a magical time. Puberty is amazing. You're not quite there yet, but yours will be a little bit different. I don't know. At some point, you're going to stop getting taller, and I don't know what that's going to be like for you. I got taller I got taller very quick, but it really made use of those calories. It was good.
Yeah.
So don't you envy me at all? You see me eating all the steak and all the hamburger. Don't you even want to try that?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't want to have to eat meat every single night. And you eat a lot of meat.
You don't have, it's a privilege to eat meat. Meat is amazing, and I can eat so much of it. So back when I was eating, like, when I ate the same stuff I cooked for you guys, I would cook my plate of food, and then I would finish all of your plates of food, because you obviously aren't going to finish it either, so I'm eating it all, and I would just gain weight like crazy. And you can go back and look at the old Wrong and Wronger videos from like a year and a half ago, or the old YouTube videos. I'm just puffy. I got up to like 204 pounds at one point, and I was eating less than I am now. And I was always hungry. And then I just switched what I ate. I first went to keto, and then I went to, eventually I thought, why, I was eating like
I think keto was better because you had more options than just meat.
Yeah, but it was worse too. I wasn't eating as much. I was eating like 2 pounds of chicken and 1 pound of broccoli. And it's finally like, why am I eating this broccoli or this eggplant? It's just useless filler. Why don't I just eat all meat? And I took the next step, and then I upgraded from chicken to beef, and I ate 3 pounds of beef a day, then 4 pounds of beef, then 5 pounds of beef, all in one meal, and then I finally cut it back to 4 pounds. I'm trying to figure out what my ideal quantity of beef is.
Because, like, whenever you buy like half a cow, and that fills up most of our freezer, and it costs a lot of money.
Okay, let me correct you on 2 points there. I don't buy like half a cow. I buy literally half a cow. I buy half a cow exactly. It is a unit of measure in the United States. I buy half a cow, and it does not fill up half the freezer. It fills up the entire freezer. It fills up 100% of the freezer.
I said it fills up most of it.
It fills up all of it.
No, there's like a few inches left, like whenever our freezer died.
I mean,
we were able to fit things.
Yeah, but I had eaten like half a cow by then, so I'd eaten down. I've gone through 2 halves of a cow just by myself this year. Yes.
So,
they can't hear you on the microphone. My daughter Lucy has come to chime in. For those of you who are just listening, I think she's been lurking in the background the entire time. Do you have something? Is my meat diet the best diet of all?
No. So.
Come up to the microphone.
So there's more space. Then how will we fit all our popsicles?
Oh, so it's all about the popsicles. Okay, so first of all, we have 2 fridges up here. We have our old fridge where the ice maker died, and without an ice maker, our fridge is useless. So we moved that into the pig room.
Because whenever him and Mommy do date night or just watch movies, he just eats ice.
I eat so much ice with alcohol, but also mainly ice. And then we got a replacement fridge in the kitchen, and then we also have the deep freeze in the basement. So we have 3 freezers. There's plenty of room for your popsicles around my beef. And also,
she just likes eating popsicles.
I've also stopped buying half a cow. I've decided it's not the best deal. I'm just going to live on ground beef now. Steak is delicious, but it takes so long to chew, and it's expensive even if you buy half a cow. So I'm just going to wait for it to go on sale at the grocery store and just fill up the freezer that way.
Does Mommy like steak?
She does like steak. She eats very small human portions of it, which is a disappointment. She should just eat piles of meat. That's the way human beings are meant to eat.
Handle it.
She could build up to it. It's just right there.
Hard.
I would cook her all the meat she wants, but instead she wants to eat you like you guys. She eats the diet of a 5 or 6 year old, and she seems to enjoy it.
It tastes good.
I mean, I got to admit, I can't find fault with macaroni and cheese, other than the fact it's probably killing you slowly. You know, macaroni and cheese tastes delicious. Chicken nuggets and French fries taste delicious. It all tastes delicious.
But it's all fried and it's not healthy.
It's just a lot of carbs and sugar, and some people can do fine with those. I can't. I just I never stop being hungry. I never stop eating them, and I end up ballooning up, and then I can't fit in my clothes, and I am sad, and that's not what I'm looking for.
So in the past, you didn't have as many clothes as you do now. Now you have a ton of clothes.
So it was a cause and effect thing. So I stopped eating garbage and started eating meat, and I lost weight and built muscle, but you couldn't tell because I had all these super baggy clothes from like the 90s because my clothes are that old. I just never bought any new ones after high school. So then I bought new clothes that actually fit right. And now I can't stop eating meat or else I'll gain weight and I won't be able to fit in any of the clothes I bought. So you see, it's a self-reinforcing thing. Someday you'll be old. Someday you'll understand.
Whenever you ate regular food, you didn't have as many clothes as you do now. Now your hanging rack is like sagging.
It is. I have fancy clothes, and I bought them all on sale. I don't buy anything if it costs more than $10. I got better. Early on, I bought a couple of things cost $20, and I look back and hate myself for it. I finally figured out if you wait, you can stack sale on top of sale on top of sale. And yeah, my price point. I'll pull the trigger on a shirt or a pair of pants if they're less than $10.
Oh, a time he saved a lot of money was on Halloween whenever he bought like 20 pounds of candy the day after Halloween, and it was almost like...
It was supposed to be half off, and then the person there told me it wasn't ringing up right, and they manually took half off of it again. So I bought you guys like 20-some pounds of candy for 20. It was basically 25% of what it should have cost. It was 75% off. So you guys are eating that every night.
Yeah.
And I don't miss it, because if I eat candy, it's just like it goes
Candy
in.
tastes delicious.
Yeah, but you only taste it for like a few seconds, and then you have that wait for like forever. I always think back. So when my grandma passed away, we went to Iowa, and we had to travel around. It was just impossible to follow my regular diet. Like, people just don't have that much meat sitting out for you. You're kind of an inconvenient guest. And I didn't realize at that time you can just go to McDonald's and buy plain quarter-pound patties, which is probably what I would do now. But I went there, and I just ate everything at my aunt's house. And I ate like those Rice Krispie treats with chocolate on top. I ate like half of a pan of those just in one sitting, just devoured it. I can eat insane amounts of food.
Because you eat like 4 pounds of meat every night.
Yeah, but I like look back and like, what good did that do me? Okay, each one of those, it takes me like half a second to inhale it, and then whatever. I have a very set Zen philosophy on this now.
You have to start eating before us because of how much meat you eat.
My Zen philosophy is, what is the taste of a cookie yesterday? Like, what is the taste of something that tasted good yesterday? What good does that do me now? Whereas if I eat meat, I stay in shape, and that does actually benefit me now. And yes, it does take a long time to eat, because I have to ground beef's faster than steak, because it's kind of like Jell-O. It just kind of dissolves. You can swallow it fast. But yeah, I have to cook my food and start eating it first, just because I only eat one meal, and I eat that whole 4 pounds all at once.
Otherwise, whenever we'd be sitting down, it would take him like an hour and 30 minutes to eat.
I'm sorry, I can't eat my food faster. I've pondered tossing the meat in a blender, but I think that's just a bridge too far. I think I would choke to death.
That would taste disgusting.
Yes, I think I would choke to death trying to drink a gross beef smoothie. That's not going to happen. So I have to chew, dear. I'm sorry. It's one of my limitations as a human being.
Do you drink milk?
I don't drink milk. Some people on the carnivore diet do. I don't. It's got a lot of sugar and carbs and stuff. I have started using some cheese. Just a little bit of cheese on top of the meat. It tastes delicious.
In the past, whenever you were just on a keto diet, you would eat cheese a lot.
I ate a lot of cheese. But I didn't eat as much food overall. I was only eating 3 pounds of food a day.
Yeah.
I was holding back. Don't you want to eat 4 pounds of food a day? Doesn't that sound amazing?
No, and it doesn't sound amazing to skip lunch and breakfast.
Well, okay. So here's the thing with that. So I ate those meals for most of my life, and they just didn't do me any good. It's like, well, if you eat breakfast and you eat lunch, you won't eat a big dinner. So it balances out. And that's a garbage logic. Whether I ate lunch and dinner, or whether I ate breakfast and lunch or didn't eat them, it had zero effect on how big of a dinner I ate. I ate the same size of a dinner anyway. And when I would eat breakfast, it wouldn't be that big. And it's like, okay, I ate this, and my hunger went from like an 8 to a 7, but I'm still hungry. What was the point of that? And I eat a lunch, and my hunger goes from like an 8 to a 7. Like, what's the point of that? So I just leave my hunger at an 8. Just leave it at an 8 all day, because I know at the end of the day, well, it's just not a big deal, because I know at the end of the day, I'm going to eat so much meat that I never want to eat meat again. I'm going to be full for the only time of my life, and I'm going to be so full that it's going to carry over. Like right now, I'm not that hungry.
Whenever you started just eating dinner, whenever you started eating dinner, how loud was your stomach whenever it was growling?
I mean, it makes some noise. I'm not going to lie. There's some side effects and there's some collateral damage. It does growl, but I'm really not that hungry. I mean, I haven't eaten right now in 14 hours, and it's not 14, 15 hours. It's just not a big deal, because I know at about 4 o'clock, I'm going to cook myself 4 pounds of beef. It's kind of like, have you ever gone to an all-you-can-eat buffet?
No.
I don't think we take you to an all-you-can-eat buffet, because you're a waste. Because you eat like tiny little portions. Like, even buying a kid's meal is too much for you.
No,
but
it's not too much for me.
I don't know about that. I'm the one paying for those. Anyway, when I would go, it's like, okay, I'm going to an all-you-can-eat buffet today, so it's not a big deal if I skip breakfast and lunch, because I'm saving up room for that. Like Fogo de Chao's, my favorite restaurant in the world. They just keep bringing you meat and piling it on, and you don't want to fill up earlier in the day. You just save it all for that, because you're going to eat at Fogo de Chao's later that day, and you're going to eat all the steak you can until you die.
How much does it cost to go to an
well, it depends. If you go to a bad one, it's like $8 or $9, which isn't a big deal. Then they get you on the drinks. They charge like $3 or $4 for the drink. If you go to Fogo de Chao's, it's quite a bit more. That's only
because they give you everything.
And that's the thing. Like, if I go there, I know at home I could eat that much meat for like $8 or $9, and there it's like $50. And also, I'd have to take mommy with me because I'm married, and then she would not eat enough to make it worth her $50. So it's a waste. I would have to just go by myself, and that's not the best way to keep a marriage together. But anyway, if you know you're looking forward to that, it's not a big deal to wait for a meal.
Well, if you go to Fogo de chows, and they give you a ton of meat. You can just take one bite out of every piece and bring it home.
I don't think they do doggy bags specifically because of that system. They've thought of that, believe it or not, because there are other super cheap people out there. So that's the limit. But anyway, it's not a big deal to wait because I know every day I get to have this feast of meat. And for me, I'd rather be a little bit hungry all day and then have a giant feast than be a little bit hungry all the time and also gain the weight. Yes.
For Thanksgiving, how much meat are you gonna eat? Because Thanksgiving, you're supposed to eat a lot of food.
Yeah, I'll probably eat some turkey. There might be some side pork and sauerkraut. I'll probably eat some of that. It's cabbage. It's not a big deal to eat some of that. And then I'll probably come home and eat a pile of beef. So I will be very happy. I will not starve on Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, you're just gonna eat everything.
The thing is, this diet doesn't bother me at all. The thing it bothers the kids. That's who it bothers.
Yeah.
You guys beg me to eat your food all the time. Why do you want me to eat your food? It's not gonna be any food left for you.
Well, the food that's left over, whenever we finish eating, you just go put it in the composter.
No, I don't put any of it in the compost.
And you feed it to the pigs.
Well, some of it. If it's like spaghetti that I know you're not going to reheat, I give it to the pigs.
Oh, yeah.
But the rest of it I put in the fridge, and you guys have leftover days, which you actually like. Growing up, I hated leftover days. Absolutely hated
I
them.
don't like leftover days.
Oh, you guys act all excited because then you know it's something you're going to like, so you just go in the fridge and grab whatever you want. You grab
sometimes
pizza
I
or
don't
whatever
like
else.
Leftover days, but sometimes whenever just like boxes of pizza are left, and it's not from and it's just the ones that you put in the oven, I'm like, I don't want to eat that.
Scoot forward a little bit more. I want to make sure the microphone is picking you up. I did not do any kind of a sound check or anything on this, so I'll just speak in your most loudest commanding voice. Imagine that you're yelling at your sisters.
To clean up like last night?
Yes, that is part of the system. And the house is still not clean. It's amazing how much stuff you can get out all at once in short order.
Well, we picked up some of the big things.
You did pick up some of the big things, and you also did not pick up many of the small things. And most of life is the small things.
They threw everything down the stairs.
Why did they throw it down the stairs? They're supposed to be
know.
going up the stairs.
Waffle did all that.
You guys need to control Waffle a little bit. She's a menace to society, and we know this. You have to contend with her. It's kind of like managing Godzilla. You know Godzilla's coming, so you have to, clear some thoroughfares, evacuate the public. It's just you got her in there. You got to accommodate. So that's how that goes. But anyway, yeah, you guys act all upset, but it's like, okay, so I had to reconfigure how much food I would make. So like I would make 2 frozen pizzas before when I ate frozen pizza, and one of those frozen pizzas was basically just for me. And now for you guys, I just make 1 frozen pizza, and it's enough. Like it doesn't affect how much frozen pizza you get at all. You don't.
I can't have seconds.
Yeah.
Because there's no more pizza left.
So I could make 2 pizzas. So the problem is when I make 2 pizzas, I end up putting a whole pizza in the fridge. Like 90% of the time, I either put a whole pizza in the fridge or a whole pizza minus 1 slice. Like you guys are right on the line. You can usually finish 1 pizza, but you usually can't break into the second one. But if you need, if I don't make a second one, you can always pull out the pizza rolls or anything. The emergency auxiliary pizza, the self-contained pizza squares. And do that. Everybody needs a little bit of emergency pizza. That's how that system works.
Pizza's delicious.
Yeah.
Pizza's delicious, like Mommy would say.
Is that, yeah, it's good, but it's not as good as meat because you can't eat as much of it. If I ate 5 pounds of pizza a day, I would die. I would literally die. I would be 900 pounds and I would fall down the stairs like a boulder in Indiana Jones and I would die.
Yeah.
But if I eat 4 or 5 pounds of beef a day, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I can still fit in my clothes. Yes?
I don't understand how you can still fit into your clothes when eating 4 or 5 pounds of meat every night.
Well, my body just processes it more efficiently.
Daddy?
What?
So,
Yeah, speak up loud so people can hear you.
Daddy, so I had to throw all our moldy pizza, and now the only leftover pizza we have is our Arnie's.
Oh no! Oh, it's restaurant pizza. It's the only pizza we have. So we end up with
Restaurant pizza is the best pizza.
we end up with so many leftovers when I don't eat with them that sometimes the leftovers go bad and moldy and we have to throw them away.
Like the tacos. Only me and Mommy like the taco meat. Only me and Mommy.
You guys, I don't know why you guys don't like the taco meat. Oh, that's another thing. You eat tacos, I guess, sometimes, depending on the day and the season.
I eat tacos. My sisters like eating nachos.
Yeah, you guys just pile the meat on top of them, throw in some cheese, and that's that. So
Washing the meat thingy that you cook it in. Washing the meat pan that you cook the beef in for tacos is horrible.
Yes, that's a new development. So my wife
Super greasy.
found out that I've been paying the kids an allowance for years and not actually making them do anything. So now we make them wash the dishes, and when one kid washes the dishes, the other ones are supposed to pick up around the house.
Never happens.
It happens. It depends. If I'm nearby, I can kind of, force you into it.
Like last week, whenever I was doing dishes and my sister was supposed to be cleaning because the house was a giant mess, they didn't clean up at all. So on the weekend, everybody had to clean.
It is a tragedy. You know what? One thing that would solve this is if you guys just didn't get stuff out in the first place, or if you just didn't have so much stuff. Does each kid really need 9,000 toys?
Ask our family.
Your mommy or me and mom were talking about it last night. I can't wait till you're teenagers and you're done playing with toys. You guys might hate us. You might be emotional and unruly and angry and all that. But if you just don't have stuff, if you don't have all the million tiny little plastic things lying around the house, it would save like 90% of the domestic labor in this house. That is literally all it would take, is just not having you guys get it all out.
We're waiting for like on some weekend to sort through things, because books, we have a ton of baby books, and
We should just get out some garbage bags and put them out and just throw everything in there. And just
no, not everything.
half of everything.
Doggy.
Not Brown Doggy. We'll never ever get rid of Brown Doggy. You'll take Brown Doggy with you when you get married and move out.
Yeah.
That's her favorite stuffed animal. Of course, we won't get rid of Brown Doggy, but everything else.
Why everything?
There's so much stuff. Like, are you going to be reading those books when you're 15?
Which is why I'm saying, like every spring, we just need to look through the books. Spring cleaning.
So the problem is, anything you take out, any toy, one kid's going to say, no, that's my favorite toy, even though they forgot that toy exists. Even though they haven't played with that toy in months or
What about
years.
Benny the Bull?
What about what?
Benny the Bull.
Benny the Bull. Oh, you guys bounce on that all the time.
Yeah.
At the top of the stairs where it's super dangerous.
Well, at least Waffle does.
You guys only...
I can't play on that.
You guys only play with toys that are dangerous, and if it's
Yeah.
not a dangerous toy, you only play with that toy in a dangerous place. So it's like a rubber
Yeah.
inflatable bouncy bull, and her favorite place to bounce on it is right at the top of the stairs, so she can go tumbling down. Now
In the middle of the night.
well, we have veered wonderfully off track, which is definitely a wrong and wronger tradition. I guess before we wrap up, I should ask you: are you a better co-host than Steve?
No.
No.
I don't watch your videos, so I don't know.
Okay, that's true, but that's true of everybody. Like, you don't need to
Daddy,
watch or listen to our videos to pass judgment, because nobody
Daddy.
watches or listens to them. What?
I used to watch them a bunch.
You used to watch them, but so you don't watch them right now.
Because
you
my
never post
tablet
anything.
dead.
Oh, your tablet's dead. Okay. What do you mean I don't post these? I post these things every week.
I'm
I'm posting right
talking
now.
about wrong and wronger. I'm talking about everything else.
The other videos some people watch. Yeah, we'll maybe start trying to do that. You guys went back to school. You aren't as available. Maybe we'll start doing it. We're recording this now before I drop them off at school. My wife's out of the house, so I'm not in her way. So we're trying to just squeeze this in here.
Because normally you have to record in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I recorded all sorts of weird times. Now that I work from home, I sometimes record in the middle of the day when you guys aren't home
Which is
either.
weird. It looks weird with the lighting.
Everything I do is weird. Everything I do on camera makes me look worse than the last time.
Like,
And
whenever you record in the middle of the day, over here, the sun just...
that's the thing. So I'm so proud of this carnivore diet. I'm so proud of getting in shape. And then I turn on the video camera, and I look like just as much of a cave troll as Steve. It's really unfortunate. The beauty does not translate through to the camera. How dare the camera record me exactly as I look in real life? I need all the filters and stuff like that.
Their face is getting split in half right now.
Yeah, but that's all right. I won't be split in half in the actual broadcast. So anyway, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. This has been another episode of Wrong and Wronger, our first Steveless episode ever, and I think it was our best one ever. So anyway, that is all for now. We will catch you next week. And remember, 2 wrongs can make a right. We're all stuck here.